Welcome to W102 Commission meeting, and it's a great pleasure to see the hybrid version, both in person, some of you all, and online. What I would like to do is just run through some slides so that both parties could see and participate. Just want to give an introduction as to where we are in terms of the commission and the work we are doing, and also touch upon the work that we've done for the World Congress, and then reflect on the survey results that we collected on technologies and techniques used for managing COVID. And that relates very well with the session that was there in the room on learning from pandemics. Then, based on our discussions previously, I thought we could brainstorm some events for this year, 2022, and also kind of touch upon the roadmap and research impact. Those were kind of on our back, but we never got into the nitty-gritty of actually looking into it in detail. And then about any other businesses that we want uh, to discuss. So I'll be very quick. I'm conscious of the time. In terms of the work that was done by the CIB Commission, W102, looking into techniques and technologies, we did a literature review, and we went through a systematic review and identified around 24 articles discussing about knowledge related to COVID-19 and the techniques. And we developed this table. When I say we, it's Ellen, myself, and my research team, along with the W102 members. And from there, what we came about from our literature review findings is it accelerated remote working. It also embedded online learning, and especially with COVID and the lot of information that was bombarded, how would organization decode it and make sure that what was relevant to the organization? And this brings into the ethos of information and knowledge management. How was knowledge shared, transferred, translated, and also in terms of innovation and collective capability, which came to forefront, especially from the research works that we've been doing. In terms of collective capability, it came up very evidently. Those who weren't that adaptable to change in terms of technology had to do so in order to do remote working, in terms of adapting and learning BIM. That was very evident, and that relates to mentoring and training in aspects. And from this, the organization had to come up with guidelines and how they're going to go as business as usual as much as possible during the pandemic, while also looking into ways to explore new knowledge. So far, we've received 58 completed questionnaires, and it is across the world. And we are still encouraging members to participate. So 67% men and 33% women, and the pie chart shows the job descriptions, and the histogram shows the type of organizations that participated. In terms of a large, medium, and small organization that participated, keeping in view this is a small sample when you're considering the survey is global. 35% SMEs and 66% from large organizations. we did receive 57% response from Europe, but in terms of other countries, it's kind of less than 15%. And I would appreciate, I've got a link for that, which I'll put in the chat. And I would appreciate if you all spread the word so that we could get the snapshot of, uh, I think I can do that now. Just bear with me. So in the chat, there is the link for the survey. And so far, the results, what has been analyzed and revealed from the survey, it was a 4-point Likert scale. And we asked two main questions, which are the techniques and technologies that are most used, and then the effectiveness of those technologies. When we tell about techniques and technologies, technologies are the one which is IT based, and techniques are the ones that are non-IT based. But because of pandemic, you can't see much of the techniques that were taking place. So emails were the most commonly used, but the least was FaceTime. And in terms of effectiveness, again, it was emails, which was very interesting to note. Um, and the social media forms were the least effective. And these are the professionals within in the built environment community. So from this, what was concluded is in terms of there is still a lot of explicit knowledge being transferred and shared, and very little tacit knowledge has been in going around. And in terms of tacit knowledge, it is more towards technologies such as Zoom, MS Teams, and what we found out in some countries was WhatsApp is more commonly used because you could record that voice, but also text, but also call. So you are getting these other aspects that are being used, but in terms of how effective it is, they still prefer emails. So that was about our findings from the survey. And please do participate and spread the word on that survey that we are doing. The second aspect I wanted to emphasize is the call for paper special issue on architectural design and construction for smart and sustainable buildings in cities. This is part of the spin-off from the Building World Congress effort. And the deadline for the submission of papers is November this year. So again, please encourage and do submit for the special issues. And the other aspect I wanted to bring to your attention is, as part of the Working Commission, we did start our work on a project called SAVE, which is exploring the role of smart cities during the pandemic. And that led to several workshops being hosted. So if you have your smartphones with you and if you want to use that for registration, this is the barcode. And so you can just scan the barcode and register for this event. And this is an hybrid version. And so it is available for participants online as well as in person. And it is on 8th of July. We've got speakers lined up. I'll just leave this for a moment. And this is the link as well. So again, I can put that on the chat for those who want to register. So I would like to spend more some time on brainstorming for the future activities. And one of the ideas that came across looking at the presentations was we could have kind of a webinar or a postcast looking into the research that is being done by our members in several countries and reflecting on the work that was again presented in the World Congress. We do have a case study from New York, from Brazil, New Zealand, and some work has been done in India, in UK, so, and also I think South Africa. One of the participants said they were happy to take place. So the floor is open for discussion, and also if you've got any comments on the about things that I mentioned. Wilco, would you volunteer for anything? You're on mute.
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
I was just looking at your research on acceptance from the technology and so on after COVID-19. This might be interesting, but I have to discuss it internally with the group to connect that to probably activities from our group, Culture and Construction, because that is, in fact, the behavioral part is involved more from that perspective. So probably good to stay in contact about that.
Sure.
That is, and is that also a follow-up? Also, I just understand that it is a continuing survey, what is online, but is there also a follow-up with the added questionnaires to the future or the changing situation? Is that the goal, or at least the way to go forward in it?
Yeah, yeah. Currently, it's an ongoing one. We've kept it opened. So we want to spread the word around the world to get more input in terms of where, and as it goes, we will reflect, change, see what's coming up, and then take it from there.
And you also use that for defining the roadmap of the commission, or is that a separate, or is it more or less an ongoing test and getting feeling with what's happening outside, more or less, or how?
My thought process was to link it with the research impact and the roadmap, because at the base of all this is information and knowledge management. And especially with the evolving of these pandemics. I mean, COVID came as a spike, but if you see previously, there were several pandemics, but it was contained to a particular region.
Yeah.
And COVID really, because of people traveling, it just spread across and every country was affected.
I understand it's a good, I think we'll see them from surviving to thriving. Yeah, so in a sense of that it, I think it might be a good, yeah, way forward. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Any other comments or thoughts? Audrey from the flow?
No, I don't. Keith, anything? Nope.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed the session. I thought the speakers were very good. Actually, the presentations were some of the best that I've seen probably here at the conference. And I'd like to get involved if I can, eventually. But I know I made a lot of connections with a lot of people here, and that was good. it was interesting to me, especially the New Zealand one that talked about, 40% of the workforce lost and 4,600 jobs, being held up. That didn't happen in the United States. They were almost looked at as essential workers, and we kept construction going on. So it was interesting to see that to me.
Yeah,
I think as a committee, you guys did a great job. I think it was good. I think it's a very interesting topic too.
yeah. Especially the session on lessons learned from pandemic. That was a group effort of 4 working commission along with W102. So it showed team effort and cross collaboration within the commission groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had also a paper about pandemic, but then more from the sense of learning from the crisis and going through that cyclic procedures but I wasn't presented. That was somehow already in another session on Monday early in the morning. But yeah, I see some connection with what you are doing. Absolutely.
I think overall there were more than 20 papers that came through, but it had to be kind of spread out in the program.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's all logical, I think. And it also makes the interesting thing that you can mix it then within commissions, and then you see cross-linking things are happening, and that I think that's also a good part to connect, at least also, and to probably to connect also to other research areas.
Yeah, and I was thinking, and again, that's where I wanted your thoughts about roadmap. Was just wanted to suggest, would it be possible for kind of subgroup or task group within the working commission to look into this? Like a few people could look into the research impact and few on the roadmap, and then come along and put our thoughts together to kind of make it as a draft. Of small
Sure.
working groups.
I think that'd be great. I'd be happy to work on the roadmap.
Yep. Thanks, Ellen. So we can get it started. Because that is what I was asking the CIB management as to what support we might get, because it's quite a substantial piece of report that needs to be done. So if our works are broken down to small chunks, kind of thing, and then we tie it up. In terms of other events, yeah, we're having the survey ongoing. We've got this workshop which has been hosted twice a year, once in the summer and one in the winter in the UK. So summer is usually in July, and the winter is before we break down for Christmas. We want to keep that as an ongoing, getting the people within the network and the research that they're doing. Is there anything else you can think of, like collaborating with other conferences?
If I might add, I met a research student, PhD student from Italy yesterday, and she's doing her thesis and research on risk management and knowledge management. So I mentioned Ellen, I mentioned your name, and Charles Egbu. And now that you all have the working commission, I would like to, when she emails me, I would like to connect her to you all.
Great.
So you'll get an email from me in the next probably month or so once she and I connect. I think she should be like part of this and look at your research and see how it might connect to her research.
That's great. Thank you, Audrey.
Yeah, that's
Thank
really
you.
thoughtful. Yeah, thanks for that. Any other things that you all think that could be brought to discussions, like as Audrey said, think about the people, the work that they do. Happy to have them as part of our working commission and their contribution. The more, the many. Mary. Sorry for my words. Been awake the whole night, so
I was gonna say, it's been a long night for you. It's a long night for me, but even longer for you. So
I did enjoy
I think you've done a
chairing
great
that.
job. I really do, Shiva. Really awesome job.
It's very good.
Yeah, and feel free to drop your thoughts anytime. How do you want the meetings to be held? Because we have seen increase of our attendees in these meetings that we've held. So would that work, or do you all want like two folds to meet the time zones? Because now we are just holding one that suits the US and the UK time zone, which at times doesn't suit the Australian time zone.
Mhm.
And that's always been a challenge. And I think the way forward, one thing we could do using technology is to record the meeting, and then the members could listen to the recording at their convenience.
It's a good idea.
So if I may propose, we have the next meeting maybe September, October time. Would that be a good time? Like usually August is kind of the holiday period in the Europe.
Over in Europe.
Or even America, I suppose. How would you will go? I do know we all work 365 days a week.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. But you always have them two meetings that at least you spread them on during the time zones more or less, or at least with the recording probably too, that others can join in later or whatever. That is a
Yeah, but the encouraging bit is more and more people are joining us, which is nice.
It is nice.
yeah. You see it also on CRP commission meeting, board meeting, and so on. Also always have two times of probably, and that somehow it functions. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if there's nothing else, I think we are spot on time.
Yeah.
To
Good
close
timing.
the session. Thanks very much once again for all your support and input.
Have fun at the dinner.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Enjoy your stay in Melbourne.
We can keep contact by mail and so on. So probably might send some thoughts about collaboration with culture. That is, let's see how it's functions.
Sure. We look forward.
Ciao.
Okay.
Nice meeting everybody.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Have a
Bye-bye.
nice dinner.
Thank you.
Hope to see you
Bye.
soon.
Bye. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.